So today I have a review from the website Better Business Bureau,
Oh, BBB.
BBB. And this is for the Mexican restaurant Qdoba.
Is that the chain?
Yes, it's like a Chipotle, but it's
Yeah.
Qdoba. Qdoba Mexican Grill. And it's under the headquarters for Qdoba. So I don't know where it is.
Okay.
But it's in the United States of America.
Sure.
This is a 1-star review from Joe P.
Joe B. Joe P.
Do not go to this store. The manager, Charollett, hates her job. Upon arriving, she seemed irritated. She asked me what I wanted, and I ordered the protein bowl. I believe the protein bowl has double beans and double meat, but she gave me 1 scoop beans and 2 scoops of chicken. When it came to the salsa, she lost it. She reached to the salsa verde, and I don't like the salsa verde. I wanted the habanero instead. And she said she couldn't do it because it would screw up her inventory. I told her I wanted cheese, and she said she couldn't do it. I told her I ordered the bowl several times before with no issues, and she said she couldn't do it. I told her I'll pay the difference. When she put 1 scoop of habanero in the bowl, I asked her for any second. She sighed hard. Then I asked for the cheese, and she put a super tiny amount in the bowl, and I told her more cheese. At this point, she was irritated, and so was I. So I told her, if I'm paying for this, I want it done right. She lost it and slammed my bowl down and said out loud, quote, "Will someone else help this asshole?" and walked away. I was appalled and shocked. So when I paid for the ticket, I told the other lady I wanted the district manager's number. When she didn't know it, she went in the back to tell her manager and heard them talk about me. She came back and said they didn't know it. I told them I knew they did, and they didn't want to give it. I asked for it again. The manager came out and said to call the corporate office, and if I didn't leave, she was going to call cops on me for trespassing. I reached out to Qdoba online 3 times, and I've yet to hear back. My suggestion, don't go to this store. 9 exclamation marks.
Wow. That was unacceptable, in my opinion, Joe P. That was unacceptable.
Isn't that like an odd? I can't okay. I have, this always comes up with this preface, but I've worked as a waiter before.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine being so done that you actually use
call
profanity.
them an asshole.
Yeah, that just really is so shocking to me.
I mean, that's where it took a turn. I was trying to understand, trying to be understanding of full size. But then when the asshole thing came out, I was just like, wait a minute, this is not even if it was let me get somebody else to help you. I feel like maybe we're not communicating clearly or something like that. But
well, see, that's the problem with these sort of Subway, Blaze Pizza, Chipotle, Qdoba, these sort of processional line things is they're going to charge you more for sour cream,
everything, for everything.
But
yeah.
Who's actually monitoring that? So I just feel like this is a hard job to have, where you're scooping, and I feel like everyone always wants more. But this is the store manager, Charollett, spelled Charollet.
Wait, spell that again. I'm sorry, what? I was gonna ask for the spelling, so I wrote down spelling question mark.
Charollet.
Charolette.
I don't know if it's a misspelling or not. It's capitalized.
Interesting.
So for the manager to be that annoyed.
Yeah, I just think the whole thing was weird. from the get, I was kind of like, oh, I mean, maybe this isn't weird, but I was like, oh, how'd they know it was the manager that was, like making the bowl?
That's a good
And
question.
then,
Maybe it's on the tag.
yeah. And then I was like, maybe with because the inventory comment, like I've worked in jobs where like they keep a very close eye on the inventory. And so I was like, like maybe Charollett like just got in trouble because her inventory was off. And so she was being like,
It does sound like
very,
that.
yeah, like she just had, was slapped on the wrist for over serving or whatever it was. And like, they're not meeting the numbers that they're supposed to be meeting. And so that's why she was sort of being so strict. I liked when, Joe said like that it was at the salsa that she lost it.
When
Like
it came to the salsa, she lost.
Like when she lost it. Like it was like I don't know what he meant by that exactly, but what I imagined he meant by that was like he was maybe on her side or maybe willing to like be like, all right, this is gonna be okay. But then when the salsa incident happened, that was like the line in the sand.
It's interesting to me because Joe P mentions that they have ordered this bowl many times.
Yeah.
But then says that they believe the protein bowl is 2 scoops of beans and 2 scoops of meat. So it's sort of like, well, I mean, I would hope that, if you're going to have this, if this issue occurs, you would write this review armed with, per the website, it comes with these things. Because just saying I believe, maybe they're being sarcastic and saying I believe it comes this way, knowing that it does. But because I don't know the ingredients, it does I wish that I was told definitively what it is, because it sounds like Joe is telling us that they left out a scoop, and then there was this issue with the salsa. It was the wrong one, and then it wasn't enough, and then they wanted cheese, and it was like a tiny little morsel of cheese, and then
I was confused about the whole cheese and then like the salsa comment, because I feel like Joe teed it up and then played it out in a weird way. Like he teed it up, like he asked for the salsa, and it was like no, like he had a line that he repeated, like she said she couldn't do it. She said she couldn't do it, right? So it was like, I wanted the different salsa. She said she couldn't do it. I wanted the cheese. She said she couldn't do it.
Correct. You're
but
right.
Then later he says like, I asked for the second salsa and she like put a minuscule amount. And like, I asked for the cheese and she put a minuscule amount. So it's like, what happened in between her just saying she couldn't do it and her giving him a minuscule amount?
Yeah, it's odd to me because also I feel like at any of these processional line things, it's like a mound of cheese. Like to lose it, like to slam the bowl down when we're like heated back and forth, and then the cheese broke the camel's back. Like I feel like maybe Charollett was being a little like paybacky by like putting a tiny little a little pepper stash of cheese. And, Joe was like, are you serious? And then Charollett lost it. But also, what do you think is, do you think that they are unaware of how to provide this angry customer with the regional manager, the corporate office? Like,
oh, hell no.
They obviously know it.
They definitely have it. They're just like, if you're going to narc on us, like the least you can do is Google it. If you're which I gotta say, like, I like get it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, am I gonna make it easier for you to narc on me? Like, no. Also, like when you're coming at me like that. I don't know. It's like I always fall on both sides of this. When you're a
kid and your parents are like, tell your father what you said before. It's
right.
Like, I'm not gonna
like, no. You, like whatever version of it that you remember is the version that we're gonna bring to court today. Yeah, no, so that was funny to me. But the other thing is that I've been thinking about as we've been reading this review is I'm wondering how many people go to Better Business Bureau to read the reviews, like especially in a situation like this. Like maybe if it was like there was a rat in my food or something, then it's like, oh hell no, I'm never eating there again. But like for these type of complaints, it does feel like this review should live more on like a Yelp than a BBB. Also, like we've discussed before with other restaurants and things like this, it's, I would imagine, a franchise.
Yep.
So each one I would think is run very independent from the other. So writing it, like you said, just on a broad, Better Business Bureau, Qdoba overall, isn't going to really address the issue of this individual store. Like maybe if the franchisee was of the store in Maine or whatever, looked at their Yelp reviews to help their business, and they saw that Charollett was maybe acting in a way that he wouldn't want people representing his business to act, then he could actually do something. He could intervene. He could, put her on probation or, monitor her more closely or something. Like he could do something about it. But I wonder how much control corporate even has over something like this when it comes to a franchise. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm so grateful that you brought that up, and I want to circle back to that, but I do want to it is interesting because in preparing for this episode I couldn't find what store it is, because you search Qdoba and it just gives you all of them in the nation.
So exactly. Also, I'm sorry, but I found this really funny when they said that like if he didn't leave, that they were gonna call the cops for trespassing. Can you trespass assuming that you don't have a whatchamacallit, restraining order? No, can you trespass at a restaurant where you're buying something?
I think so, because what if someone won't leave? Isn't that trespassing?
I guess.
Like if people are like standing around outside smoking.
That's loitering.
Oh, you're right. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I wonder what the distinction is.
Right. Loitering, I think, that makes sense. Like you're overstaying your welcome and you're not using the space for the purpose that it was
I didn't even think about that. I just totally, if they had said that to me, I would have been like, oh shit. Like,
maybe they just said it because they thought it would scare him. But I didn't even
question. Like, of course. Can you? I don't know.
My sister's a lawyer. I think about these things. I'm like, is trespassing the appropriate crime being committed here? I don't know. Maybe it is. Could be. I didn't go to law school.
I will say there are a few spelling grammar issues here and there. I'm curious about Charollett, but we can just give them that one.
Right.
But it says she reached to vary the salsa verde.
I heard that. I was very confused.
Right. And then
I was Verde confused.
And there's some like there it's not, I don't know that they did a spell check.
For sure not. All right. I think I have enough information. What do you think?
Me too. Let's crown it.
Okay.
The queens are tabulating.
Are you ready?
I think so. It's gonna, okay. Let's do it.
Total score.
Are you lifting? Oh, interesting. Trey is holding up 1.5 and I'm holding up 2.5. I guess I'll start because you started last time. I did 2.5 because I thought like it did seem like the manager was truly Charlotte, whatever you want to say, was giving Joe a bit of a hard time. The asshole comment was way out of line. And for that reason alone, I think that Joe has a right to, be upset about that. So that's where he got the 2.5. I know it's a 2.5 kind of day for me. He lost it for me in the narrative. I mean, I don't really understand the whole, like she said she couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden she's giving a sprinkle thing, where that came from. And I also don't think that this is a really effective review and that the people that are reading it are probably already going there to complain. So he's not really warning anybody that might be going to this Qdoba that they should avoid Charollett at all costs. So that's why I gave it 2.5. How about you, Trey?
So I started at 2 and then I went down to 1.5 at the very end. Only because there are many reviews on Better Business Bureau that say store location XYZ, store number 1, 2, blah, blah, blah. And
got it.
Joe P did not bother with that, which okay, whatever. But it does sort of cause an issue where I can't. It becomes a little is it unvaluable? It becomes irrelevant.
Invaluable? Irrelevant, yeah.
Because I can't place where the store manager is. I do, and there are lots of like spelling problems, and a little bit of the narrative got lost. Like I wish that Joe P had done a little pass of editing just to sort of make sure the points were clear. And also my whole spiel about what is in a protein bowl would have helped.
Right. But it seemed like to me, maybe even they were given too much before, hence the inventory problem. Maybe, I don't know.
Good point.
Right.
But I just sort of felt that, like, you know, I want to give Joe P some credit because they did say, I'll pay more. So please just do what I'm wanting here. But also at the end of the day, you know, it's like you're at a concession line restaurant. So like, I don't know. I just feel like pick your battles. But if I was called an asshole at a store, I would probably go to Better Business Bureaus as well. Like I would actually.
Yeah, I think it's messed up.
So that's why I did 1.5.
There's a reply.
Oh my God, there's a reply from who? The district manager?
So I'm so glad that you brought up the whole point before because Qdoba Mexican Grill has a response. They say, hi, blank. They do, it's 3 asterisks, but we can see that the reviewer's name is Joe.
Okay.
I don't know. Hi, asterisk. Thanks for your review and feedback. We want all of our guests to have a great experience. And it sounds like we missed the mark, which is the opening 2 sentences to every reply, just FYI.
Sure, yes.
This kind of behavior is definitely concerning to hear. I know you eventually spoke with our customer care team, as well as the regional manager. So I'm glad to know that everything was resolved. Thanks again for letting us know, ! So I wasn't even going to read this until you brought up the point.
Yeah.
It is interesting because if this is a licensed franchise, at
the end of the day, who is like responsible or who is the person to deal with this?
And this reply is 10 days later. Exactly. So, but I'm curious, maybe the, corporate office saw this on Better Business and figured it out and was like, you need to contact this, this is our brand.
Maybe,
who knows?
Yeah.
But I just thought that really impacted my score. Your whole point about like, okay, but like this probably should be a complaint on a different
platform.
Because it is sort of, or at least list the store number, location, give some clarifying information about what the store is.
Yes, because there's no way that you could expect the same experience to happen at every Qdoba across the nation.
Right. I hope not.
Wow. Okay. I feel like I need to like smudge myself and get all the energy off.
Baby,